Have you ever been interested in owning or buying a Toyota MR2 SW20? Well, hopefully in this video, I'll be able to cover a few points and a buyer's guide if you're looking to purchase one of these vehicles yourself. In another one of my videos, I will be covering more about the future plans for this car, modifications that you can see are going on. But for now, we're just going to focus on if you were to buy one on, say, Facebook, online, Cars and Classic, or wherever you see one of these cars for sale. I'm going to be looking at some of the common things to look at when purchasing one of these vehicles so that you don't get caught out and you purchase one as good a condition as possible. First off, we're going to be covering the interior of the Toyota MR2 SW20. First, when purchasing one of these cars, as any old Japanese car, you have to look out for the plastics. Any door trims, for instance this cigarette lighter hold, these cars are notorious for cracking plastics, whether that's from heat damage, removal, pop clips breaking. You're going to have to look for these when purchasing one of these cars. When I bought the car itself, it was cracked all along the first pieces here, the center trim consoles, and the door handles had cracking, tarnishing, damaging, and paint removed from some of the areas, for instance, the glove box. You'll get this in most cars, however, I commonly see this in pretty much every MR2. Another thing to look for in these cars, as again, old and Japanese, there's a lot of foam that's placed in these cars for sound deadening purposes or noise reduction inside the cabin when you're sat here. To be honest with you, removing these is the best if they have not been removed already. A large portion of foam is located in this quarter, which can be revealed from inside the vehicle itself and under the door trim and seat on the inside area. This will rot your car out, and it has happened to this one and many others I've seen, and causes a lot of welding work and a lot of money you don't want to fall into. Another common thing on these old Japanese cars is the window scratching. As you can see, there is a lot of scratching and damage caused over time through bungs and plastic areas and adjustments in the door coming loose. These aren't cheap to replace, however you can still find them, but always make sure if you're buying the car and want to keep it for a long period of time, take the door card out and replace all of those pieces so you don't end up like mine. Another thing that's a common misconception of one of these vehicles, just like the MX-5s, is that they are a small sized vehicle. So people of my height, 6 foot tall, can't fit in these vehicles. However, this is incorrect. As you can see in the car, I have plenty of room. My knees are up and I still got room to go back, lean the car further. So even with my steering wheel attached, I fit nicely in the car with plenty of storage left over, which I'm just about to cover. Next to talk about is space and storage in these vehicles. Again, common misconception with this being a small sports car is that it doesn't have much space. However, as you can see, plenty of storage in not only the boot, but many other compartments. For instance, the glove box, the center console tombstone, many hidden compartments, trays behind and under the seats, and generally behind the seat storage as well, leaving plenty of room for any travel experience or storing things as you go on the roads. And let's not forget about plenty of space that is still kept in your frunk for travel and any experience you go on. And commonly, as these are old vehicles, you're going to look at the paintwork. Small areas, or large in my case, of lack appeal, scratch damage, or cracked areas, including wheels, rims, tyres. You're going to see a lot of old wear. However, don't let this put you off. That's the least of your worries. You're mainly going to be concerned on looking for rust areas. Next, we're going to move on to a common problem with any of these old Japanese cars. With UK roads, rust, and also the combination of foam causes a lot of rusting areas in these vehicles. Areas you're supposed to be looking for in these are top trims of your windows for any surface peeling or bubbling. A key area also being your arches, under the driver's side door panel. Again, from the foam, the rust, the salt on the roads, it's not a very good look, and also will cause you a lot of welding work, which is going to cost you probably more than the car cost originally to get fixed. So make sure you keep an eye for any major rust issues or areas before you commit to purchasing one of these vehicles. So besides some of the smaller issues that I've shown you on the inside of the car to make you aware when purchasing one of these vehicles, I'm going to talk through some more of the mechanical side of the vehicle. One of the main things that tends to go wrong on an MR2 is your handbrake system. A lot of the times you'll see jokes online on the internet, handbrakes really highly held in an MR2, or people having extensive problems with handbrake cords, cables, calipers, etc. So as long as you have basic mechanic knowledge, you are personally and very easily able to fix these yourself. With a little bit of hard work, as you'll see in some of my videos, I go through and show you step by step on how to replace cables, brake pads, etc. So if you need any assistance, if you decide to purchase one of these vehicles, I show you step by step guides on how to fix these very common issues on the car. However, some slightly harder issues to fix revolve in the engine bay. I'll go on to that now. This issue isn't a hard one to solve, however some issues of the engine can be very difficult and cause you to have to remove the engine itself. One thing to be very aware of when purchasing one of these cars is how long the clutch has been in there / has the clutch plate and disc ever been replaced. To do a job like that on one of these, I'd recommend a garage if you're not experienced, as you sometimes, on most occasions, you're going to have to remove the engine itself rather lowering it or raising out the car to fix this issue. Smaller and easier to handle issues consist of your ignition leads, which can sometimes not seat correctly or pop themselves out. This is to be looked at most likely when you're purchasing the car, so that you know you're not getting any water into your plug systems, which can cause issues as I have had and many other MR2 owners in the past. And generally, anytime you're looking to purchase one of these vehicles, you have to look at the service history. What work has been done previously to the vehicle, whether that's tyre changes, cam belts, water pumps, anything that can save you money, as a cam belt and water pump on one of these is going to cost you from about £700 to £1,000 to replace from a garage. Now is the true put off of buying one of these vehicles. Snap oversteer, steering issues, geometry, and slipping the car out. This is a common put off for purchasing one of these vehicles, and I have personally experienced oversteer, understeer, every type of steering issue when driving this car, however at a very young age. If you are silly with one of these vehicles, you are very easily able to slip this car out from rather accelerating, lifting off too quickly, going round roundabouts a little too quickly, or not being prepared for your weather conditions. This can lead to issues as I have had in the past, leading me to crash one of these vehicles, not severely, very luckily, but as long as you are sensible and learn the car and how it drives, you shouldn't have too many issues with this. In one of my other videos where we talk more on the modifications, I'll be talking more on how to prevent these oversteers, lift off steers, etc., and how to get the car feeling like mine, where it's a lot more grounded on the roads. Or if you need to do an oil change, coolant change on one of these cars, it can cost you a bit of money if you don't have that basic mechanic knowledge. So always look for rust spots, as I've shown in the video. Make sure you know what you're purchasing and know how much money you're going to have to put or not put into the vehicle. Finally, I'm going to talk to you about how I found driving this car, or MR2s, for the past 2 years, my personal experience. Personally, I would not choose another car to own. The MR2 is such an addictive car to drive. If you've spoken to any previous MR2 owner, you will know that they regret getting rid of these vehicles, crashing these vehicles, or not owning their previous MR2. Most MR2 owners will wish to purchase another MR2 in the future, as they regret selling them. It is an extremely fun car to drive. Being a mid-engine sport car, especially at my age, I have loved this experience. And driving on the roads daily for about 2 years now, I have not run into many major issues that I have not been able to overcome through my own mechanic knowledge or having to fork out for at a garage. Owning this car has taught me a lot mechanically and has also given me such a joy to driving. Driving can be scary for those of you who are starting off, especially with rumours of oversteers and understeers, and also major rust issues on these vehicles. So I hope if you are looking to purchase one of these vehicles, this video is some sort of help to you. So for those of you looking to buy this or one of these iconic rear-wheel drive Japanese cars, this has been helpful to you. Or if you're an owner, let me know if you've run into these issues in the comment section below. I believe you would have at least run into one on every MR2 down below. Also, do make sure to like and subscribe the video because it helps us a lot to make more videos that are informative like this, whether that's mechanic work done, for instance, brake jobs, eventual engine swaps, and a lot of body work on these vehicles. If you have any suggestions or videos you would like to see on repairs for one of these cars, again, leave a comment, let us know what you want to see from the channel. We're more than happy to take on the challenge. And hopefully this has given those of you who are unsure the confidence to possibly own one of these in the future yourself.